you work full-time feels impossible, right? Long days, zero energy, and every idea competes with life. I get it. I built mine after hours to made it to six figures without quitting my job. In this video, I'll show you the exact routine, decisions, and mistakes that got me there. You'll see the nightly system I use, the pricing error that almost killed growth, and the single constraint that fits it. We'll break down 3 pillars: discipline time blocks, treating every customer like gold, and focus marketing. At the end, you leave with a clear 90-day seeds plan you can copy. Let's start with the foundation, because this is where most people fail. Motivation is unreliable after a full workday. Constraints beat motivation every time. Without guardrails, your night vanishes and progress stalls. So I set one rule that changed everything. 8 p.m. to 11 p.m., Monday to Friday, plus a weekend block, is a non-negotiable work sprint. No notifications, no social. This is a meeting with your future business. The thing most people miss is they treat side projects time as flexible. Flexible time disappears. When I logged the calendar, output became predictable. 3 hours a night doesn't sound like much, but it compounds fast when you are consistent for months. So here's the system that clicked for me. I kept a recurring daily list with 3 buckets: bugs, future queue, and outreach. Bugs first because trust breaks if the product breaks. Futures second, but only the ones customer actually ask for. Outreach third because products don't grow in silence. I follow a simple rule set. Fix bugs within 24 hours. Only build features customer requested and enough people were hitting. Ship something small daily. The small ship learn loop prevents the endless refactor trap. The mistake I made early was refactoring for elegance. It felt productive, but it didn't move users forward. I had to remind myself, this is a business, not a code art project. One night at 9 p.m., a bug hit a critical workflow. I dropped the feature I was coding, patched it by 10 p.m., and I emailed the customer with a fix and a short Loom walkthrough. They stayed. Not only that, they refer a friend the next week. Fast fixes create trust. Trust creates referrals. Now here's where most people mess up with tools. They try to ship and DIY everything. Don't. Pay for anything that saves time. Deployment, monitoring, analytics, email, support desk. Time is your scarcest resource when you work full-time. A $20 tool that saves you an hour weekly is a win. And keep your stack simple. Use what you know. Don't chase a new framework mid-build. The switching cost is real. Familiar tech, you spend your limited hours shipping, not rewriting. Once you nail this constraint, everything else clicks. You'll see a rhythm form: Monday fits, Tuesday ship, Wednesday outreach, Thursday iterate, Friday close loops. Progress compound because you are not starting from zero each night. You are continuing momentum. With time lock and output predictable, the next pillar is how you treat each customer. This is where traction accelerates, even with a tiny audience. Early users are not just customers. They are your product managers and your best marketing channel. If you treat them like gold, they'll teach you what to build and they'll bring friends. If you treat them like tickets in a queue, they shun quietly. So when I went high touch for everyone at the start, big or small, same effort, until patterns were obvious. So here's what it looked like. Every new sign-up got a one-on-one setup. 10 to 15 minutes was enough. The goal was a quick win in the first session and a clear success metric we both understood. Think about it like this. If you were onboarding someone to a gym, you wouldn't hand them the manual. You would just show them one exercise, get a small win, and book the next session. It's the same idea here. My onboarding checklist was simple and repeatable. First, confirm the use case. What job they are hiring the app to do. Second, import a sample data so the interface isn't empty. Third, set the first automation or core workflow so they see the product do real work. Fourth, schedule a check-in for next week. That's something that you can do right away with whatever you're building. Define the first aha moment, then walk them to it. Support had to be tight. I answered within hours, not days. Critical issues got fixed within 24 hours, and I always close the loop with an update. People forgive bugs when they see fast ownership. They don't forgive silence. And closing the loop turns a problem into proof that you will be there when things matter. So here's a small story. A small customer came in with a messy setup. And no time, I did white glove onboarding. We loaded their sample data together, set one automation, defined their success metric, and sent them on a short recap. 2 weeks later, they sent 2 warm introductions. That single hour paid for itself many times. The thing most people miss is that early in the journey, you are not trying to scale support, you're trying to build case studies and trust. To make this sustainable, I built a feedback loop. Every request went into a tracker. I tagged by segment and counted repeats. If something kept popping up across multiple accounts, it went into a future queue with priority. When I ship it, I close the loop with everyone who asks. Email is powerful. It tells people you are listening and it prompts them to try the future. Now, this is a mistake I made. I drifted toward B2C at first. High volume, low price, and supporting, but never slept. The IRPU was too low to justify the hand-holding, and the questions were all over the place. It drained energy and stalled real progress. The pivot was B2B. Fewer accounts, clear ROI, more stable usage. That's when onboarding quality and support standards started to compound instead of overwhelm. This set up the pricing lesson. I launched with a $9 per month plan that included everything. It felt friendly, but it created support load with no margin. You can't deliver white glove onboarding at that price. When I aligned pricing with the value and usage, both the product and customer results improved. If you remember nothing else from this section, personal onboarding plus quick fixes win trust, and trust drives retention and referrals. With service quality dialed in, we need traction. Scattered marketing delays growth. The game is simple. Run tiny tests, measure honestly, then double down on the one channel that moves real numbers. Random acts of marketing feel busy, but don't compound. Focus does compound. So I started with a small controlled experiments. PPC or pay-per-click and content were my first two. For PPC, I kept keywords tight and intent heavy. It sat match or phrases that signal pain and readiness, not broad terms. The landing page matched the search intent with one high signal promise and a single CTA, start a trial or book a demo. A small daily budget, street negative keywords, and I measure time to first value and activation, not just clicks. For content, I wrote posts that solve one problem each, practical, short, and specific. Every piece ended with a direct CTA to a trial or a demo. The thing most people miss is they write for traffic, not for action. I wrote for the person with the problem today. One of those posts drove 3 demos in a week. That was my signal. So I doubled down on that topic cluster, more angles on the same core pain, internal links, and consistent posting. So here's the channel decision rule I use. Once one channel shows traction, real signups, real activations, no vanity metrics, you focus on it and ignore the rest for a while. That's how you build compounding effects. The audience learns you. The algorithm learns signals. Your progress gets sharper. It's the same logic as your nightly blog. Constraint creates predictable output. I kept KPIs simple. Target the first 10 paying customers. Reduce time to first value. Track activation rates. Those numbers tell you if your marketing and onboarding are working together. If few clicks go up but activation stalls, it's not the channel, it's the landing or the product's first run. Pricing needed a fix here too. I moved off from the $9 per month plan and aligned with the B2B ROI tires with an annual option for commitment. Simple, honest value statements on the page. And I removed the clutter. Clear plans reduce decision friction and set the expectation for support and onboarding. So common mistakes to avoid. Launching content without a CTA. Testing 5 channels at once. And no attribution. Also not following up. If someone books a demo or starts a trial, send the walkthrough. Offer a short call and make it easy to hit the first win. Marketing doesn't end at the click. It ends when they succeed. The reason this works is consistency. Pick the winning channel and show up on a schedule you can sustain. Weekly posts, daily PPC optimization, and monthly webinar, whatever fits the channel. Once the numbers move, resist the urge to chase shiny new platforms. Depth beats breadth at this stage. And when you are ready to add a second channel, you'll have the process and proof to make it count. So this is your 90-day action plan. Month 1, log 8 p.m., 11 p.m., nightly and a weekend block. Build the smallest usable version for one narrow B2B use case. Track all the feedback. Fix bugs within 24 hours. Ship something small daily. Month 2. Onboard every customer one-on-one. Define the first success metric. Raise pricing to ROI-based tiers and add annual plans. Create an onboarding checklist and do weekly follow-ups. Month 3, run 2 tiny tests, PPC and 1 content theme. Measure activation and conversion. Pick the winner and go all in. Your goal is getting 10 paying customers. Pay for tools that save time. So constraints, customer obsession, and focused marketing are enough to get traction while you keep your job. Commit to a 90-day plan and start tonight. Subscribe for deep dives on onboarding, pricing, and the focused marketing playbook. That side project became Expiration Reminder, a tool that tracks document expirations automatically.